Hi, my name is Andy, and I want to talk to you about a D&D character I played once. The first character I played in this campaign was actually a dwarf named Keviak, and for legal and spiritual reasons I've elected not to talk about him because it was a dark time, dark place, did dark things, and I think we all just kind of felt dirty when I was playing him. But anyway, the character that I am going to talk about was named Thomas, and I wanted Thomas to be sort of like a sheriff, and I thought that a sheriff should have a gun. But not just any gun, a rifle. But our DM Alex said that I couldn't have one. It doesn't exist, he says. And I said, well, what if it was like a magical rifle instead? And he looked at me suspiciously because he knows that when I find loopholes, it is seldom not an excuse to do something, inhumane. But I don't know, he's not feeling particularly imaginative, so he says, okay. Which was a mistake because here's what I did. Instead of having a normal gun, I had an arcane cannon. And it was like a flintlock rifle except that you don't have gunpowder and bullets. Instead, I had a sack of fairies. And I'd reach into the sack of fairies and pull one out, kicking and screaming. I'd shove it into the barrel of the cannon. And you know, for authenticity purposes and to make it seem more like a normal gun, I really want to emulate that process. So I crammed the fairy into the opening of the cannon and I take my ramrod and I just kind of jam the fairy in there with a series of quick jabbing motions. With the fairy loaded into the cannon, I pull the trigger and a spell fires out of the end. Class-wise, I was actually a sorcerer. This was just the horrible, inhumane mechanic that I devised to achieve that end. Where did I get the fairies? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It was a flavor thing. I had a limitless supply as far as I can remember. I mean, who knows? Maybe I had some kind of horrible fairy work camp where I took the firstborn of every family and had it live out its life in the dark confines of my ammo sack, only to meet its grim demise at the end of my ramrod. So that was the basic premise behind Thomas, but I didn't play him for very long. As a group, we decided that each time a spell was fired from the arcane cannon, it would also release a cloud of pixie dust, which, through prolonged exposure, could have strange effects on one's mind. This was my excuse for making a lawful good character act like a complete maniac. So I did some dumb things, killed a few people, made an old lady into soup, betrayed my best friends, and ultimately was thrown to a group of hungry gnolls as a distraction while the rest of the party escaped. Which was really unfair, because what I did was nothing compared to the shit Keviak pulled and he lived. But I don't want to talk about that. Well, that was one of my D&D stories, but I want to hear yours. Go down to the comments and tell me all the inexcusable things your characters are going to hell for.